I'm Autumn Brown, a rebel without a cause, a philosopher without a stone, and a healing justice facilitator for social movements, living on Dakota and Anishinaabe land, currently known as Minneapolis.
Wow. Wait, when you said Minneapolis, I just got chills thinking about all the ice resistance y'all have been doing in Minneapolis.
Hey, shout out to Minneapolis. We know how to throw down.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm going to talk about this as part of my pop cultures. But I'm Adrienne Marie Brown, and I am an empath without a fuck to give, a songstress without a soprano high note.
It's gone.
And a twerker without a lower back. Okay. My lower back is gone out, girl. I'm just sitting here like, I'm twerking, but I can't really do it with my body.
It's
I
like
have to do it spiritually now.
One little edge moving.
Like, ew, 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 ew.
And this is how to survive the end of the world.
Our podcast about learning from apocalypse with grace, rigor, and curiosity.
As a reminder, we have no ads. We are listener supported. That means we're supported by you.
You're the listeners.
You're the listener.
So join our Patreon for exclusive, yummy, delicious, fire content. Hi, sister.
Hi, sister. How are you today?
I miss you.
Aww. I'm so glad we just saw each other and we're about to see each other again.
I know, we're in the window of time where it's like basically almost the entire family was born, and our society like also celebrates many of its holidays. So like the time off of this time of year goes with our birthdays or our certain birthdays, including your sister. Mm-hmm. So you're older now coming onto this episode.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
1 year older. Mm-hmm. And what feels like
10 years wiser,
at least 5 years wiser. Least. That's what I was going to say. I was like, with each year, I feel like my experience somehow exponentially grows because
the leveling up is speeding
because
up.
The universe just doesn't rest when it comes to me and my trials.
No, is for you and your tribe. And indeed, I keep seeing those memes that come out now at the end of each year where they're like, I'm just calling God to say, I don't want to be your strongest soldier next year.
That's right.
Like, thank you for the honor.
That is the feeling.
Thank you for the lessons. And I'm just sort of like, oh, like no one on earth can get out of being a strong soldier right now. So, but we persist. But no, I'm doing good. I have had a slow writing morning. Like I keep doing the thing where I'm like, okay, now like this month is going to be the first time I'm sharing some of my writing work back out to some of the readers for it. And so I'm like trying to do the cleanup, like where it's like, it's still a mess. It's still all over the place, but it's like enough that you can get a hold of the ideas. Mm-hmm. And I love that because there's this dance between like, I'm in my own bubble doing my thing. And then there's like, oh, other people can see in my bubble. What do I want to make sure that they can see at this point? So mm-hmm. I spent my morning doing that. I did a little yoga, and it's cold and rainy here, but I'm really looking forward to the weekend. We have sweet plans tonight. And then tomorrow, Toshi Regan is going to be in town doing this Ecotones performance. Oh. And it's like Alexis and Toshi and Danielle Purifoy and all these other folks who come together, and they're doing this, like, it really feels like earth ritual with like music and reflections. And so I'm like, I know Saturday is going to be expansive. So nice. That's how I am doing. How about you, my sister?
How I'm doing right now is that I survived a morning of driving in the snow in Minneapolis.
No. Wow, because you're a warrior.
Here's what happens in Minnesota.
Yeah, talk to me. I just want people to know before you pop in the story that I got to get a voice note from Autumn as she was doing some of this driving through the snow.
And it probably was terrifying.
Made me frightened. Yes. I was like, no, stop. Anyway.
I felt so bad after I sent you that voice message because I was like, that was probably.
It was like an audio drama.
That was stressful to listen to.
Oh, God.
I had a similar experience recently with my bestie where I like was voice messaging them and like almost got in an accident. And they were like, they messaged me back and they were like, I just want you to know that if that ever actually happened, I would not recover. I would never recover from that audio. Like, please always feel free to just stop messaging me if you think you're in danger.
I love that people have to tell you that, like, hey, girl, I know what you're sharing is really important, but not more important than getting to your destination.
Right. They're like, you don't have to keep talking. You don't have to keep talking. Anyway, it was very funny. But also I was holding your hand. It was safer for me to continue talking than to turn my attention to my phone to stop doing that, right?
Yeah.
So actually,
I felt the choice.
I was actually being really safe. So anyway.
Do you have to dig your car out?
No. It was nothing like that. It was
Oh, you have a garage.
I have a garage, thank God. But no, it's more like what happens in Minnesota is everyone forgets how to drive in the snow during the small window of the year where we don't have to drive in the snow. And then when the snow comes again, it takes about 2 weeks for people to remember how to drive in the snow. And so today is like, we're, 6 days into the relearning process, which means that people are still almost killing each other on the road. And so someone was just like sliding out of an alley and nearly took out my car because they lost control of their car. But I'm really good at defensive driving. So I was very defensive. So I'm very happy to be like in my attic with my blanket on my lap and just not going to leave the house at least for a few more hours.
Yay.
It is actually really nice to have a ton of snow on the ground because actually last winter we barely had any snow. And so even though it's cold and even though it's dangerous, there is something that, like the other day I was driving in the morning and I saw a sundog, which is when a rainbow shaped, like a circular rainbow forms around the sun. And it's like a visual phenomenon that only happens in deep cold and bright sunlight. Yeah. And so it's like you have to be in a particular part of the world to even be able to see it. And it has to be incredibly cold. And so it was moments like that make me feel like, oh, I do live in a really special place.
Yeah. Minnesota is so gorgeous in the snow. Why do you think it's called a sun dog?
I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Maybe one of our listeners knows.
Yeah. Okay. I've never really thought about it.
Yell it at us. Okay.
And then I would say the other thing that's like, we're just living through a really intense moment in the city right now. We have a massive ICE operation happening in Minneapolis. And it's frightening. And also it's been really, really inspiring just to see the network activate and to see the way people are responding to see moment by moment the way the organizing is unfolding, and it's hyper localized. That's the reason why it's working is because it's hyper localized, and the infrastructure that has been put in place in order to facilitate that is really impressive.
Yeah,
and it just makes me really proud of. I've been feeling this way for many years, but I just feel really, really proud to live in Minneapolis and proud of the organizers in this city. I mean, every organizing community in every part of the country we all are struggling with our issues. Like we all have internal cultural issues in our movement spaces. But I just am so impressed by the way people in this city throw down when shit hits the fan. It's really cool. And it makes me I'm feeling a lot of like hometown pride.
I deeply feel you. I had the same experience when I made their foray into North Carolina, like first to Charlotte, then Raleigh, then Durham. And it was like watching my neighbors actually be neighbors.
Yeah.
And watching there's a combination of like the organizing is incredible, the guidance is incredible, and then the neighbor impulse, in a place where people are like, no, like, and down here, it was like Meemaw with a gun on the porch, like, get out of here, like y'all not taking my friends or whatever. In Minnesota, I've seen a very different energy, but I'm like, either way, is that local thing of like, this is us and this is ours. We are each other's and you won't take us, and knowing that we can't save everyone, but it is powerful to be like, we can reject this wholesale, you know?
Right. And it's like, it's just deep to see the strategy work and to be like, yeah, you actually can, we can't save everyone, but we actually can save a lot of people because these agents, they know what they're doing is wrong. And so as soon as you start to document and challenge them, they leave, you know? I mean, sometimes they leave with people locked up, but oftentimes, I mean, many of the cases that have been happening in my neighborhood, it's like once there are people on site screaming, whistling, and challenging them, they take off.
And filming.
Yeah.
It's like, you're on camera, fool.
You're on camera, fool.
Yeah, sister. Well, I'm sending my big love to y'all in Minnesota.
Thank you.
You know, keep it up. All right, my sister, we wanted to come on here and first of all, just say, hey, we've been away for a little bit. We've offered some bonus episodes, but we feel ready to come back with something, but it's a little different than what we've done in the past. And so we wanted to come on and give you a little taste and preview and some things to look forward to for how we're shaping this season. So, sister, do you want to tell us a little bit about the topic of this season that we're entering into?
We got this question from one of our listeners. The listener was wondering, hey, have you noticed that a lot of movement people are starting to turn towards art? And what do you think of that? And we talked about it, I think, in one of our Ask Us Anything episodes. But it was a funny timing to get that question because we were already looking at having an entire season looking at art and its role in social change, and not just the art that we're currently making and the people who are currently doing art and cultural work as a way of fomenting social change, but also just looking at the role of arts and culture in revolutionary movements in history.
Yeah.
It's just a really well-documented part of revolutionary movement that people actually have to experience revolution through art. And so we wanted to actually take some time and dedicate some real attention to it, but we wanted to do it in our own special fun way.
Yes.
Where we start by talking about ourselves. And then
because we are artists.
We are artists. And then
artists.
And we have things to share. And then we're going to expand the conversation to include some of the artists that we are really inspired by the arts and cultural work that they're doing. So the first half of this season is going to be what we're calling fractal conversations, where Adrienne and I are talking, just the two of us, about our artistic practice. Adrienne, do you want to share a little bit about what those conversations are going to be?
Oh yeah, sure. It was even sweet to generate them because it was like, we could go in a lot of different directions, but we're like, what's really present for you right now? What's really helping your practice, like in this moment? And so folks understand, both Autumn and I have been working actively on books. So we're both like in book deals and writing books and turning them in during the same window, and also making all kinds of other art and creations during that time. And so when we sat down, we're like, what are some of the things that really help us? So one thing we talk about is just making the space to create. And we have such a wide range of our own lives to do that because in terms of how many people rely on us, in terms of how many internal and external jobs we have at any given moment. So we wanted to talk about like, how do you make the space to create? We wanted to talk about the interval method and other forms that can be used to break through blocks. Break through blocks.
There you go.
Everybody say it yourselves too.
Break
through blocks.
Break through the black.
Break through the blocks. Okay. So how do we move past those places where we feel a little stuck? We talk about storyboarding and structuring and the different ways we actually approach making especially larger form works, like an album, like a book. Like, how do you keep all the pieces in order? We talk about improvisation and emergent work and like how to be in relationship to what unfolds as we are going. We talk about project management because part of being an artist is being the boss of your creative process and really understanding each project that you're doing as something that needs a whole universe to succeed and needs collaboration and needs timelines and sometimes budgets and other things. And then we talk about altar building and like, how do you create the sacred support system for the work that you're doing? So those are, I think it's 6 fractal conversations that we've had that we're going to share with you. Starting today, we're actually going to drop one today. So as soon as you hear this episode, you can go straight into the first fractal episode and start to be with us in this journey of being artists, being creators, and talking about those things. And we're hoping that you listen, that it helps you, and that it also reminds you maybe of practices you have or have been in, or helps you get clear on like what are the practices you need to have in order to fortify your artistic practices.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be so sweet.
Yeah, it's sweet.
Yeah.
It's really sweet. And I will say it helped me to have the conversations with you, because I feel like we have a lot in common, and then we have a lot that's really different for how we approach the work. And it's just, to me, it was like so cool to be like, oh yeah, that's like, I've been using the interval method a little bit more since we talked. And like, there's different little things where I'm like, oh yeah, this is helpful. I forgot this. Or like, even like, maybe we should do one on artistic nutrition. But since we did, I've been like, oh yeah, what are my best practices? I need to eat protein in the morning. Like there's just like stuff like that I'm like, that literally produces a better writing mind for me.
Right.
Remember?
Like, what am I feeding my brain? Totally.
So
yeah, no, it's like, you really can't put a price tag on how valuable it is to actually talk process with other artists, I think.
Seriously. And especially at a time like this, like I think that we are in the same boat as everyone, which is like, we're in this world where, like we spoke about, ICE is attacking and democracy is on the rocks, or no, what's it called? On the ropes, rocks and the ropes, I'd say, you know,
definitely both. And
there's so much crisis unfolding. Genocide is still unfolding. Like this is a really complex knot of a time to be alive. And it's like the most important time to create in, because in this time when things are all falling apart, art and co-creation is how we make the new world and how we build the bridge from here to that other place. So these process things are like part of the revolutionary practice, in the same way that you need a set of practices for your organizing work. You need a set of practices for your artistic revolutionary work. And we're really excited to offer some of ours.
Yeah. And we hope that you like it. And then in the spring, we're going to have a different sort of energy of the season that will unfold. Will be a moment where we transition into talking about art as a vehicle for social change. And that will be a combination of interviews with artists that we respect, artists that we ourselves have collaborated with, as well as just conversations that Adrienne and I will have about the role of art in revolution. And so you can expect some more traditional content to come later in the season, but we're kicking off with these fractals.
Yeah. And I'm really excited, sister. The conversations, the people that we're thinking of, we're not going to tease yet. We want to land these conversations, but the people that we're thinking of, like, they're really inspiring. Like we're really living in a rich, rich time for this. Like any direction you look in, any movement that you look at right now, you can see how clearly the art is showing up. Even as we were talking about the ICE piece, I was thinking about the Resistance Revival Chorus and the Home Depot protest they were doing over the holidays, and just singing in front of Home Depots and being like, don't go in here. And I'm just like, it's such a rich time. So hopefully y'all are going to love those conversations. And I think they'll be, I like when we do our interviews, but I also really love the kind of quality of conversation we're having these days, sister.
Me too.
So I'm like, we're 9 years in, and I feel like, you know, I keep feeling the deepening, the alignment happening, and it's exciting.
Shall we shift gears into
my favorite thing?
Your favorite thing in the whole wide world? Do you want to tee up how we're doing this?
Yes. So, as everyone knows, I love culture. I mean, we all love culture. That's why we're here. But top culture is one of my favorite things, one of our favorite things to share with you all, the things that we're consuming right now and what about them inspires us, excites us, why we want to recommend them to y'all. So what we're going to do today, because we've made this shift where we keep top culture now for our patrons. So if you want to hear top culture on a regular basis, you have to become a patron. It's really easy. Become a patron and then have access to this content regularly. But today we just wanted to give you a little teaser of top culture. And then if you want to hear the rest of our sort of top culture for 2025, you can go over to Patreon and you'll be able to hear the rest of it. So, Autumn, what is your first thing that you want to share with people?
My first top culture for 2025 is Stranger Things, Season 5, Volume 1.
After what we've been through, this thing... it ties us together.
I have loved Stranger Things as a series since the beginning.
Yes.
And I've been with it through the ups and the downs because they have made some wild choices along the way that I did not agree with.
Really gross things.
But I want to say the reason why I'm highlighting Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 1 as top culture for 2025 is not even because of what happens in Volume 1, but actually because of the way the entire apparatus of Stranger Things has created a world of fandom around this show that then is like feeding the show, and the show is feeding the fandom in a way that like I don't know if I've ever witnessed this in any other scenario quite this way. But just for people who aren't like following, which I don't, if you are someone who doesn't watch Stranger Things, I guess those people exist. That's so weird to me. But
they weren't like coming of age in the 80s.
Right.
Weird.
Right. Yeah, it is. It's very nostalgic. The show begins in 1983, which is my birth year. Right. So I feel very connected to the show.
You are the show.
I am the show. It is about me. I am Will. Yeah. I am both.
You're Max
I am
and
both
Vecna.
Will and 11. Absolutely.
Oh, I thought you were Max and Vecna, but yeah, that's good too. You're all of it. You're everyone.
That's really interesting. It says so much about what you think about me. But so the way
I think you're the best.
The way that I'm the best. The way that the Duffer Brothers are releasing the final season is that
they're from Durham, by the way.
Wow, good for them.
Yeah,
good for Durham. So
there's all kinds of Durham little.
I bet. Okay, so the way that they're releasing the final season is they've released Volume 1, which is the first 4 episodes of the season. They released on like the night before Thanksgiving, and then Volume 2, which is the next 3 episodes, is like Christmas Eve, and then Volume 3, which is one final finale episode that's really long, is New Year's Eve. Right. So they have basically decided we are the Harry Potter of our times, which means that this is now a holiday event. And they are not wrong. They are not wrong. Like they have that,
or transphobic.
They have that level, right? And exactly, right. They're neither wrong nor transphobic. It's great.
Yay!
It's like a very, especially this season, it's just like so gay. It's adorable. But the thing that I want to really highlight, because I have a child in my household who is like obsessed with Stranger Things and is like a super fan, and one of the things that's been amazing to watch with the Duffer Brothers is that they have their entire fandom really like turned up around a particular part of the storyline that may or may not occur, and there's no way to know whether it will or won't, and it's not clear based on the actual arc of the narrative that the thing that the fans want to happen is even possible, but people are so engaged, and it's like a whole world. There is an entire world around this one storyline, and it's actually so beautiful. It's like so beautiful how invested people are. And I don't know, there's something about the way that and we've talked about this before on the show, just the way that getting to be a fan of something is so powerful. Like the way that you get to just like lose yourself in the absolute obsession and delight in a thing culturally. And I've just been, as a parent, it's been so fun to watch my child just like get sucked up into this fandom. There are moments where I'm like, okay, now we need to come back down to earth and like eat food. But it's but it's also just
discuss
really
a different topic.
It's right. Any other topic could be any other topic.
Anything else.
but in the moment, it's also just, it's so fun. And like, we are having, as a family, we're having so much fun, like going through this experience together, the fandom experience. So that's it's how we're ending, literally how we're ending 2025 is with the Stranger Things fandom.
Oh, I love this. You know, I got to be with you over this past weekend, and with your family. And so I got to witness this like firsthand. It was so exciting. And then I got to have this really special moment. The next day I woke up early, and this one, that child of yours often is the first one to come down of the three. And I caught her and was like, do you want to put it back on? And she was just like, I know how I am. Like,
I know that I would want to rewatch it 5 times.
I would want to run it back over and over. And I was like, if you want to just watch this one scene over and over, we can watch it over and over. And like, it was just
and
like
deconstruct
oh, yeah,
it
like,
and dissect it and
analyze
analyze
it.
it.
But you see that little thing and this little eye and those little eyes. And she had me totally bought in by the end.
Oh yeah. It's convincing.
To
it's convincing.
Her perspective. But I also
because according to the Duffer
job.
Brothers, everything means something. That's they have repeatedly said. Everything in the show means something. So if you think that the meaning is there, it probably is. Which
it is there.
They're
so
like
smart.
The
Beyonce of the 80s. But like I feel like there's also something about the way they have this. They've engaged everyone's imagination about something that is so normal. Like it's like Stranger Things is all about weird and strange and all this stuff. But the thing that everyone is like geeked out about is like the simplest thing is love.
Yeah.
And it's like that feeling of like,
will he or
like,
won't
he? Is this love? Is this love?
Will he or won't he?
What is it? Oh, do you like me or not? Yes or no? Like what?
Like me the way I like you?
I know. Will you ever? It's so tender. And I'm just like,
oh God.
I'm like, this is a phase of, going through life. So,
right.
High
school crush is its own top culture.
High school crush is its own.
It's its own top culture. Like
it's the purest thing.
I have never felt the way that I felt about my high school crushes, and I never will again. No. You know what I mean? It's like there's nothing like
because once you learn that humans are what humans are, it's like before you fully understand all that, and you're just like, you might be the idealized version of human,
right? Before you have had a relationship.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And then you have a relationship and you're like, oh, you're a human.
You're a person.
You too are human.
You will disappoint and hurt me.
And you'll love it. Anyway, so the one that I want to weave in here, I think I'm going to go for Wicked for Good.
Yeah.
I'm limited.
Mostly because similar to Stranger Things, I think something that it shares is that the lore around it, the culture around it, the rollout of it is in some ways much larger than the piece of art itself.
Yes.
Like it's like gone far beyond anything else. And now it's, there's people who really love it. There's people who really hate everything about it and everything in between.
Yes.
There's people who watch it to hate it. There's people who watch it because they're like, no one's allowed to be skinny. And people who watch it who's like, nobody's allowed to be green. I mean, it's just like all the things are happening. Right. And so I fell hard for Wicked, and I was someone who had never watched it before this movie process happened. So the storyline was all brand new to me. And when I saw Wicked last year, I was turned out by it. I was just like, oh, like I didn't expect
crying,
this, but like
ugly crying.
I am crying hard. I am Galinda. I am Elphaba. I'm also maybe a little Bach. Like I just was like, I can feel, I can feel so much for all these people. Definitely a little Fiero. But
me and Bach.
I just walked around like feeling like maybe I'm the munchkin in the scenario. But anyway, then Wicked for Good, I was like, okay, there's 2 movies. There's one play, but there's these 2 movies, and like, how's this going to play out? Mm-hmm. And then before the movies came out, like they started doing the rollout, and it's just like watching this gorgeous friendship that feels so authentic between Cynthia and Ariana, where I can't get enough of it. And I know some people are like, I don't want to watch it anymore, but I'm like, I love it.
I love it.
They feel like how I feel with my closest friends, where it's just like, we're gasping all the time and we're like, yes, that. And we're holding hands and we're, fixing each other's hair and
wiping each other.
People
away.
Come running up on each other. I'm just like, yeah, wipe my tears away, friend. I can't do it myself because my nails. So it's just like so wonderful. The whole thing between them and the purity, like how they stick to their looks, their outfits, their energies, like the way they roll deep. And it's not just the 2 of them. It's like the 2 of them form the centerpiece of this thing, but then you can feel the other characters all there with such delight.
Right.
And,
right.
It's rare that you see that. Like, I feel like so often you see an ensemble cast and it's like, they showed up and they did the thing, but you don't really get a sense of their relationships off screen. With this, I'm like, these people really changed each other's lives in a meaningful way. And what they did off screen feels as important as anything that happens on screen, which is good because the second movie is flawed in some ways. It has some serious issues. And
mainly the music, I would
no
say.
denying it, right? Well, so I think depending on who you are. So I had a talk with a friend the other day who's a videographer, and they were like, what was happening with the way they shot the, and I was like, oh, I didn't even notice that. But they were like, they were, I can't even explain it because I'm not a videographer.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, you're having that experience. For me, it felt like music and then some storyline pieces where I was like, why are we hiding this one character's face? It's just, it doesn't feel useful.
Mm-hmm.
And then just the speed. Like, I was like, y'all are trying to pull off like 20 side quests while telling this story to tie it together to like something that is, they're trying to tie it to the original Wizard of Oz, maybe also The Wiz, and also Wicked. Like, it's like a lot was happening, but there were some things that I loved, like the underground yellow brick road. There were some things that I really loved that I'm not going to spoil for people, but the way that things work out made a lot of sense to me. And it made a lot of like sense to me right now, where it was like, offer as much as you can to people, give as much as you can to people, but then go live your life and have some love in your life. And like, I'm excited for the debates and the things that will play out from this. But I really, I was like, I really enjoyed the experience of it. It felt like a top cultural moment to me. And then all the like memes and the thing, it's just sort of like Jonathan Bailey being the sexiest universal man and as a gay man is delightful.
Yes.
And the fact that like you have a major hit where like one of the main love stories that's happening is between two people who are gay in real life, but like only gay for each other. Chef's kiss. Love it. Love to see it. Kiss. Like, everybody is adaptable. Acting is acting.
Acting
and watch
is
us go,
acting and
right?
love is love.
Acting is acting and love is love. And then all the above. So that's my first top culture.
If you want to hear the rest of our top culture, then you'll just have to come on over to patreon.com/endoftheworldshow. And then you can hear the rest of things that we've been thinking about and enjoying for this whole entire year.
It's really good.
All right.
Shake these bones, shake these bones. Oh,
thank you for listening to our show. We're on Instagram at End of the World PC, bitch. Sorry.
You can make a sustaining donation to our show by visiting our page at patreon.com/endoftheworldshow.
Another incredible thing you can do to help our show sustain itself is to write us a review on Apple Podcasts if you're an iPhone person. This helps people looking for good new content to find us. Thank you.
How to Survive the End of the World is produced and edited by Big Daddy Zach Rosen. Transcripts are in our show notes and on our website at endoftheworldshow.org.
Music for today's show comes from Autumn, the band, Tunde Alaniran, Mother Cyborg, and the Banksons.
Tackle myself to ground. I gotta shake these bones, shake these